What do a tiny, tangy candy, a fictional chocolate factory, and a gummy-coated revolution have in common? This is the story of Nerds, the candy that defied the odds, reinvented itself, and took over the world one crunch at a time. Our journey begins in 1983, when a quirky little candy called Nerds was launched under the Willy Wonka Candy Company. That's right, just like the movie. Wonka was a confectionery brand owned and licensed by the Swiss corporation Nestle. These tiny, crunchy crystals hit store shelves with bold flavors and even bolder colors. Each box had a personality: sour, sweet, or somewhere in between. But it wasn't just the taste that got people hooked. It was the box. The dual-chamber Nerds box was a game changer. Each side of the box held a different flavor, like grape and strawberry or wild cherry and watermelon, and came with its own compartment and opening. Research showed that boys tended to pour Nerds directly into their mouths, while girls often poured them into their hands first. This packaging allowed the consumers to enjoy the flavors separately or mix them together. By 1985, just 2 years after its launch, Nerds had already made waves. That year, they were officially crowned Candy of the Year by the National Candy Wholesalers Association, beating out some serious competition like Pop Rocks, Candy Buttons, and Mike and Ike. In the early 1990s, the Nerds had a close cousin produced under the same Wonka name called Dweebs, but were sadly discontinued after only a few years on the market, before making a return to the European market in 2022. They were similar in shape and taste, but less sugar and bigger in size. Imagine Nerds on steroids. In 2018, the branding and production rights were sold to the Ferrara Candy Company, based out of Chicago. And for decades, Nerds stayed relatively quiet. Still a staple on candy shelves, but not quite making headlines. That changed in 2022, when Nerds dropped a bombshell. Introducing Nerds Gummy Clusters. Chewy, bite-sized gummy balls coated by crunchy Nerds. It was sweet. It was sour. It was everything candy lovers didn't know they needed. The impact was massive. Nerds' annual revenue jumped from about $40 million in 2018 to over $500 million in 2024, with over 90% of that coming from gummy clusters alone. In just a few years, Nerds had transformed from retro treat to a top-tier candy empire. Throughout the years, Nerds have come in many different varieties, like grape and strawberry, wild cherry and watermelon, double-dipped lemonade cherry and apple watermelon, sour lightning lemon and amped apple, surf and turf tropical punch and road rash raspberry, wild berry and peach, lime and pineapple, and many more. Nerds also has had many spin-offs, like Big Chewy Nerds, that have a chewy jelly bean center with a bumpy, crunchy nerd shell. Then there was Nerd Ropes, which consist of gummy string with a variety of nerds attached to the outside. Then there was Nerds Gumballs, which were bubble gum balls filled with multiple flavors of nerds on the inside of them. They even once had Jumbo Nerds, which was a box of nerds much larger in size than regular nerds. Nerds also has offered seasonal options like Spooky Nerds for Halloween, Frosty Nerds for Christmas, Valentine Nerds for Valentine's Day, and Hopping Nerds for Easter, along with the nerd jelly beans that taste like nerds. Then came some crazier matchups, like Nerd Cereal, which was a discontinued breakfast cereal that, like the candy, featured 2 separate flavors separated in a box. Then there was Nerds Gum, which consisted of pieces that looked like regular nerds, but were actually bubblegum. Then Dairy Queen offered a Nerds Blizzard for a limited time, and Sonic made a Nerds Slushie, which were multi-flavored slushies that featured Nerds. By 2025, Nerds gummy clusters were so successful, they were named Product of the Year in Canada. And while Nerds started as a novelty candy in the 80s, they've evolved into a multi-product global brand. From double chamber boxes to gummy-coated glory, Nerds have proven that sometimes the smallest ideals make the biggest impact. So, the next time you shake a box of Nerds, remember, you're not just snacking, you're tasting a piece of candy history. If you like this sweet deep dive, please visit my channel and subscribe for more amazing videos just like this one.